We're back to tidy up some loose ends, ladies and gentlemen, on what is the hottest form of conversation when you talk Crimson Tide football news, notes, and information. It's in my own words with your man, Stephen Smith of Touchdown Alabama Magazine, live in studios. We've gone over pay for play where the NCAA is concerned. We have looked at the Alabama football defense in terms of 2019. It's trying to get back to that nasty style of play. And now we dive into my way too early predictions for the college football playoff in terms of the 2019 season. I know we're just now getting over spring. We're into summer. Haven't started summer workouts yet. The media days have not hit us yet. Let's see how the season plays out first, but I'm going to dive into my four teams that I see getting in to the college football playoff and the team that ultimately wins the big dance. My 1 through 4, I got them listed right here as Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Oregon. Once again, those 1 through 4, Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, and Oregon. And it's self-explanatory for the Crimson Tide, right? It's getting back to the Bama factory. That's what Nick Saban's trying to do. He's trying to get back to this team playing physical, playing tough, playing nasty, having that mindset of nobody wants to play Alabama. And he's gotten that done so far with getting the experience, getting the tenure back to his coaching staff. When you look at defensively and you take into account Sal Sinceri, Brian Baker, and Charles Kelly, we're looking at 96 years of tenure in terms of coaching. So you're getting that back on defense along with Pete Golding, who, despite the fact him being young, does have 9 years of experience coaching on that defensive side of the football and calling plays. Offensively, Alabama won't balance. You got the quick strike quarterback in Tua Tagovailoa coming back off of a season where he had 3,966 passing yards, 43 touchdown passes, 48 total touchdowns, all of these being single-season score records, just 6 interceptions, Heisman finalist, and a consensus All-American. And though you want him to take those next steps in staying healthy, holding up physically, and also dictating to opposing defenses, the biggest thing for Alabama is having that balance in the run game. You got 2 quality backs, Najee Harris, Brian Robinson, some young guys coming in the summer with Trey Sanders and Keelan Robinson. You want the balance in the run game. You want your offensive line flexing its muscle. It does return Alex Leatherwood and Cedric Wills, 2 guys that came in the 2017 class with Tagovailoa. Wills, who will play right tackle, Leatherwood, who will play left tackle to anchor both of those spots on that front group. At wide receiver, you know what you're getting. Jerry Jeudy coming back, Biletnikoff winner, Henry Ruggs back, Devontae Smith back, Jalen Waddle, the Cheetah, is back as a sophomore. And then you have the guys like John Mechie, Slade Bolden, Xavier Williams, and Tyrell Shaver. So for Alabama, defensively, getting back to being nasty. Offensively, having that balance, but they are the number 1 team I've got going back in that college football playoff. Number 2, when you look at Clemson, the biggest question mark for the Tigers will be, can it retool a defense? Because it lost a lot. People always talk about, well, can Alabama retool? Well, can Alabama reload? Well, can Alabama put a unit back on the field after losing 5 and 6 and 7 and multiple guys to the next level, that being the National Football League? Well, Nick Saban has proven year after year, I may lose 6, 7, 8, 9 guys off my defense to the draft, but I got the next wave of monsters that I can plug and play, and there's no drop-off. I mean, even despite the fact that last year's defense didn't hit the statistical numbers that Alabama fans have become accustomed to seeing, that group led by Mack Wilson still got to an SEC championship, still got to the college football playoff, and still shut out both LSU and Mississippi State in the regular season. In terms of Dabo Swinney, Brent Venables, and Clemson, this will be a year to where national media will finally be able to see, can it retool a defense, especially with them losing Kendall Joseph and Trey Lamar, Cleveland Farrell, Dexter Lawrence, Christian Wilkins, Austin Bryant, and those guys just off the defensive front. In the secondary, it lost Travion Mullins to the NFL. Now, I did return A.J. Terrell and Tanner Muse in the secondary, but for Clemson, can it retool a defense to put what it's got on offense in Trevor Lawrence at quarterback, Travis Etienne, a 1,000-yard back coming back, Justin Ross, T. Higgins, and Amari Rodgers at the wide receiver positions. But until somebody jumps to the fray to hinder Alabama and Clemson, it will be a collision course between these two giants in the college football playoff every single year. Which leads me to my number 3 team that jumps into this, and a lot of media outlets claim Texas. They like Tom Herman, they like what he's doing. He's got the quarterback in Sam Ehlinger. Defensive pieces have been strong. Texas in recruiting under Tom Herman has brought in quite the number of top 3, top 5 recruiting classes. Despite everybody going Texas, give me Oklahoma as the 3rd team in the college football playoff. Why? Jalen Hurts is battle tested. For the first time under Lincoln Riley, the Sooners have a quarterback that has been to the big stage. He's been in the college football playoff national title game on 3 separate occasions. One of those Alabama should have won, the 2016 year where Jalen Hurts puts the ball in the end zone late in the game against Clemson as a freshman. The score is 31-28 in favor of the Tide. If the defense holds on, who knows what could have happened, but Jalen Hurts been there, done that. He's been in these situations, and now he has a stage to where he can prove that he can take a team and get it to a national championship under Lincoln Riley, who is a quarterback savant, getting the likes of Baker Mayfield and Kyler Murray to not just Heisman trophies, but being number 1 picks in the NFL draft. Along with Jalen Hurts, you got your running backs and Kennedy Brooks and Trey Sermon both back. At the receiving options, you got CeeDee Lamb, a 1,000-yard target back, Lee Morris at wide receiver back, Grant Calcaterra at tight end, who had 6 touchdowns a year ago. He's back. Defensively for the Sooners, this is where it gets interesting because it's finally got a defensive coordinator that's about something. I mean, Oklahoma last year, atrocious, just completely terrible, just bad on defense in 2018, but it finally has a coordinator in Alex Grinch at 38 years of age that can possibly bring a change to that group and make it a strength. Alex Grinch, who a 3-time nominee for the Broyles Award, which goes to the nation's top assistant coach, including 2017, where he was a semifinalist for the honor. He has spent time at Washington State under Mike Leach from 2015 to 2017. He was with the Missouri Tigers from 2012 to 2014. He was even at Ohio State as the co-defensive coordinator and safeties coach in 2018. When it comes down to major programs, he has served as either a defensive coordinator, co-DC, and safeties coach. And at these 3 programs, Washington State, Missouri, and Ohio State, he's guided defenses that have combined for 90 picks, 90 interceptions, big number. Grinch is huge on taking the ball away, creating those turnovers, getting your offense in short field situations where you can quickly strike, get into your offense, keep your foot on the pedal on that defense, on the opposing defense's neck. So that's the game plan for Alex Grinch. Get turnovers, create short fields, get your offense back on the field, and keep that quick strike mentality going. For the Sooners, Kenneth Murray is back at linebacker on defense. He had 155 tackles to lead the team a year ago. Ronnie Perkins returns on the defensive line for his sophomore year. He had 5 sacks and 8 tackles for loss a year ago. And how about Parnell Motley? The boy is back in the secondary he had 3 picks to lead the team. So Oklahoma's got talent. They got talent returning. You got a defensive coordinator in Grinch that knows what he's doing. Oklahoma will not be all world next year on defense, but it will be greatly improved. And despite the fact that everybody talking Texas, and I love Tom Herman, and I really like Sam Ehlinger, and I really like what the Horns have going on, give me the Oklahoma Sooners. If they can get past Texas, and if they can get past TCU, I like Oklahoma in that college football playoff as the 3rd seed, which rounds us out number 4. I like the Oregon Ducks. I don't see a Big Ten team getting in. I'm sorry, Big Ten. I don't trust you. And Mark D'Antonio and Michigan State, good team. Don't see it. Penn State with James Franklin. You lost Miles Sanders at running back. You lost Trace McSorley. Don't see Penn State getting in there. Michigan and Jim Harbaugh, please. I mean, it started off with maybe it's Urban Meyer that can dethrone Nick Saban, and it's gone from Urban Meyer to Jim Harbaugh to Kirby Smart to Jimbo Fisher, and now everybody's on the Dabo Swinney train. I'm not sold on Harbaugh. I'm not sold on Michigan. And then Ohio State. You know, Justin Fields could be good. Justin Fields could be the answer. We're not sure. We don't know. And though Ryan Day is taking over, he's no Urban Meyer. I just do not see a Big Ten team getting in. However, of the 2 Pac-12 teams that could potentially get in here between Washington and Oregon, give me the Quack Attack. Give me the Ducks. Mario Cristobal building something there in Eugene. You got the quarterback back in Justin Herbert, 3,000-yard passer a year ago. As far as other pieces for Oregon, you look at C.J. Verdale and Travis Dye, 2 very good running backs. Verdale, 1,000-yard rusher last year. They got receivers, including Jalen Red, who had 5 touchdown receptions a season ago. Defensively, Troy Dye, main tackle with 115 stops. But the secondary, the biggest thing for the Ducks as it returns Jevin Holland and Thomas Graham Jr. Holland, who led the team with 5 picks a season ago. Graham had 18 pass breakups to lead the team. Oregon brought in the number 7 recruiting class for 2019. It was first in the Pac-12, including bringing in the number 1 composite player for this group, which happens to be Kalen Thibodeau on the defensive line. So Oregon Ducks, to me, my 4th team in the college football playoff. Just for Justin Herbert, got to get more consistent when it comes down to those big games. So Alabama, Clemson, Oklahoma, Oregon, my 4 teams in the playoff. My ultimate winner, I got the Crimson Tide. History has shown when Alabama is coming off a loss in a prior season, that following season, no one wants to play this team. They're hungry, they're dedicated, they chomp at the bit, and they end up winning a national championship. Case in point, 2008, Alabama got so close, had 2 losses in the postseason with 12-2. 2009, came back, won a national championship. 2010 was a 3-loss team. 2011 and 2012, how about back-to-back titles? 2013 and 2014 had some struggles. 2015, Alabama national championship. 2016, fell in the national title game to Clemson. 2017, how about 2nd and 26, 2 of the Smitty? That was a national championship. 2018, failed to Clemson in the playoff title game. This time around, 2019, expect for not only Alabama to be back in the college football playoff, but with this team, the hunger, Nick Saban, Scott Cochran, and the tenure of coaches back, yeah, Crimson Tide right there to win and have a shot at winning the national championship for 2019. It's going to do it here, folks, for In My Own Words, this week's edition. As always, ladies and gentlemen, Touchdown Alabama Magazine app. Check it out right now. Download it on your iPhone, your Team Apple, the iPhone App Store, Google Play Store if you got the Android phone. As always, podcast options. You fill in the hottest show on the streets. You check out the podcast at the bottom. You can check out the podcast options, that are conveniently at the bottom of the screen. When we return next week, we will open up with a guest. My man, former Alabama linebacker and national champion Nico Johnson joins the show. You don't want to miss it. But for all of us here at TDA The Brand, I'm yours truly, Stephen Smith. Till next time, folks. So long, everybody. Spit in my own words.